Quite a wet day here in Palms North, but we're still going to head out anyway. Going to Whanganui, or near Whanganui, to a place called Fidel. Sean Bromley on Facebook suggested you go and have a look at a place called Paloma Gardens. Apparently they have some really cool gardens and some motorbikes. So hopefully the rain holds off, and we'll take you out there and show you around. We took the back roads building to Sanson and on to Bull. And yes, that is a life-size statue of a bull on the right. There's a bunch of them scattered around the township of Bulls. We turned off the main road, headed towards Fordell. The rain was still staying away so far. Welcome to Paloma Gardens. Open every day of the year during daylight hours. With a $10 entry fee, you will need to bring cash as there's no FPOS. The gardens, which have been given the title of Gardens of Significance by the New Zealand Gardens Trust, started in 1974, shortly after Nicky and Clive were married. They started out with the Norton Arboretum, and by the 80s the rest of the garden started taking shape with the growing of different species of palms, and the bamboo forests were being planned, inspired by a National Geographic article. The gardens are varied, with plants big and small from around both New Zealand and the rest of the world. The garden's evolution has become more evergreen and subtropical. There has been a progression with the emphasis first on collecting, moving,
and landscaping, adding structure, sculpture, and pottery. The song and dance of frogs and native birds is much enjoyed. It took us a moment at this point to realise that we were supposed to go through this arch, and out ahead lay a hilly paddock with a variety of trees. We could also see a tall sculpture in the distance. There are two options here, a short or a long path. As the ground was quite wet from recent rain, we ended up on the shorter option, walking through a hilly area with trees of all varieties planted around us. We found the pond, but it was a bit muddy to go around the far side to investigate the little building jutting out over the pond. All the plants in the glasshouse were given to Nikki and Clive. Not one was bought. 99% came from Mike Kapnerhurst, who now puts his energy into fine art painting. Other plants were given to them by Ashley Cox, Larry Rata, and a bobcat operator in Whanganui East. A few were propagated by them. Mike built up his collection, which he grew largely from seed from the early 80s. Therefore, some of the older plants in here are 30 years old. Through these gates is a garden of death, with plants that are either poisonous, stimulants, or irritants. They include oleander, kowhai, pomegranate, deadly nightshade, and hemlock. The stimulants include tea, mate, brugmansia, poppies, cacti bulbs, and more. In the irritant range, there are hogsweed, stinging nettle, and in the middle of the garden is Fuchsias religiosa, whose sap can cause irritation. This was also the tree Buddha was sitting under when he was enlightened. Moto 71 has to be the best man cave I have seen so far. We met Clive, who was already talking to another motorcyclist as we arrived, and soon found ourselves in conversation with him too, talking about all manner of bikes that he'd collected so far, from the GS that greeted us in the doorway, which he and Nicky had ridden Europe on, Aprilias, MV Augustas, Benellis, Bimotors, Ducatis, Royal Enfields, Matchless, Nortons, Ariels, BSAs and more, all in fantastic condition.